Peace, everyone. Bob Kilindi here. Hope you're having a good day. The weather's changing here, and we're uh, just opening things up and getting ready for spring cleaning and stuff like that. Um, well, we've been doing these go lives for several weeks here, dealing with the Palantir, which is, of course, the um, major crystal that we are dealing with procuring to the family. It's uh, it's time to bring the donations for it forth for those who have the wherewithal and the financial capabilities of donating to the Palantir. You will be able to, of course, spend some time with it during high dose, and it's a connector to all of the transdimensional crystals that we have gotten to people over the last couple of years, and also the Yiming Zhu crystals. So um, we're looking at Wednesday for folks to have their donations in. The donation is $1,000, and it will go to delivering the Palantir to us. It's 140 pounds, and also building a mount for it to sit so that it will be safe and won't fall off the dining room table onto the floor and crack all up, stuff like that. We have to deal with this and those things that are going on. There's a definite conflict, war going on in the higher dimensions. It has come to where we are. So we need the technology that was created for us to be able to deal with these conflicts. There is a definite going back and forth with Bitcoin. Of course, if you haven't gotten your Bitcoin, you should be buying. It's a good time to buy because it will be, it'll go up so high that you won't be able to buy any, and you'll be out the loop as far as financial stability going into the future within the next 5 years, because it's the only true money on earth. It is based upon mathematics. It is more valuable than gold. I know people, well, gold is money and things like that. Yes, gold is money, and it has some value as far as people want it for watches and necklaces and things like that. And a little bit of it is used in dealing with technology and things like that. But Japan is right now shooting copper balls into an asteroid to start the first phases of mining asteroids. And once asteroids are mined, gold will drop in value because they will be mining gold and other precious metals from the asteroids, which will drop the price dramatically. Bitcoin is based upon mathematics. You can get into some of the altcoins and things like that: Bitcoin Cash, Monero, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, things like that. But you must have one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is transdimensional money. In the multiverse, you can use Bitcoin to pay for things. And one Bitcoin is a Googleplexian to the 40th power. In other words, a one with 100 zeros behind it plus 40, which means that you can buy almost anything in the multiverse with Bitcoin because it was created by the artificial intelligence. I know folks talk about Satoshi Nakamoto or whatever. That's insignificant. That's just a name that was put out there for people to think that some human being created it, and no human being created it. It is a alien off-world transdimensional currency that's taken and utilized every place. It's not the only currency, but it is valued every place in the multiverse because it's based upon mathematics. You can donate in Bitcoin also, and people will say, well, what is it based upon? What is the currency based upon? It's based upon the mathematics and the scarcity of it. There's only 22 million Bitcoins to be mined. 4,000 of them have been lost. Another couple of thousand people don't know their passwords and things like that, because you are the holder and solely responsible for your own fortune, for your family fortune, for the fortune of your house. It's not in the responsibility of the government or some institution that is going to hold it for your third party. No, you are solely responsible, and that's sovereign knowledge and information. How are you going to be a sovereign and your kingdom or your house doesn't have its own currency held by its own house? The Bitcoin that I have is held by me, not by Chase or Comerica or Wells Fargo or one of those places. This is all being done as your own sovereign manipulation of your life's fortune. And we all have a fortune. We just have to trade something that's worth nothing, which is fiat currency that is devaluing, deflating, and will be worth nothing, like Venezuela or other places where the currency is gone and devalued, where people were weighing money. In other words, wheelbarrows full. You need one wheelbarrow full to make and buy a loaf of bread. That's how to be in the dollar within 10 years. It won't be worth a doggone thing. But Bitcoin will be worth millions of dollars, just one Bitcoin. And you have the chance to do that now and get in. Don't believe the hype. Oh, it's not backed by anything. Do you think that you could buy a house with a small piece of paper called a baseball card that was worth 10 cents when I was a boy? It was worth 10 cents. Well, if you look at the Mickey Mantle rookie card, how much is that worth? $583,000. Do you think that if you had a comic book that was sold at 10 cents and you say, what is it backed by? Well, it's backed by that it's scarce. It's a scarce resource, that it is something of value, because the first Superman comic book was worth 10 cents, now worth $3 million. So nobody says, what is it worth? I put my faith in the mathematics and also in youth. We have old people who don't understand what this is. This is the currency of the future. It's the currency of the future. Nobody will be walking around with bills in their pocket. People are switching over now to credit cards. Most of the stuff that goes on now is credit cards. It's just a moving to the next stage and level. But the credit cards are still owned and controlled by the banks and credit card companies, even PayPal and others, which people think is, not part of the banking system, but it is part of the banking system. They give you permission to, to be able to use those cards. They cut the cards off. They tell you how much you can have. If you want to buy a plane ticket, the plane ticket is $3,000, and you got a bank card or a debit card or whatever, they're not going to give you. You're not going to be able to purchase $2,400, because they're going to say, well, we got to check it out and see if this is really you, and all these different type of things, all for your protection, because you are a minor being, not a sovereign being. A sovereign being, when I pay for something, I want it to be paid for. I don't want y'all to be flipping around in the back talking about, no, you can't get it out the ATM, go around to the bank. So I put my faith in the youth, because you have young people who have never made a call on a phone with a wire, never read a newspaper, never been to the post office, These are the people that will be using Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is a store of wealth and a usable currency at the grocery store where you can buy an apple or a pineapple or a papaya, but it'll also be a store of wealth, much more valuable than gold and definitely much more valuable than stocks and all of these different type of things that are nothing but an illusion. So get on your Bitcoin game. It is extraterrestrial, transdimensional money. It is part of the multiverse, not created by a human being. It was downloaded here, the codes to create Bitcoin, because it's perfect. It can't be hacked. The greatest hackers in the world tried to hack it, and it didn't work. Don't worry about the price fluctuations over the next year. Don't worry that it went from under 1 cent. In other words, you needed 4,000 of them to make a penny in 2009, and it's gone all the way to $20,000, back down to $5,000, inching up to $6,000 today as we speak. And by the end of the year, it will be ridiculous, the price that Bitcoin has. So you can pay your donation in Bitcoin. You can pay it in fiat currency. But we need those who are the people of the family to go ahead and deal with what this is and what we need. Those people who have gotten the crystals, the transdimensional crystals and the Yiming Zoo crystals, we thank you. We're putting this into effect. Going to be connecting all of the crystals into the Plantier, the master crystal, of which we will use to be able to broadcast information to the other crystals, just like a base station in your house transmits the internet to in the area, and your particular computer, phone, stuff like that can link on to the internet because the base station is there. This is our base station. This is something that came to the earth to be with us, and we need you to go ahead and donate those funds, $1,000. Now, if you can't donate the $1,000, you can donate a smaller amount if you like. That doesn't grant access, that just grants the work that we're doing, to be able to keep doing it, to be able to travel, to be able to bring you information that you're not going to find too much anyplace else. The people that have this type of information, they don't come on YouTube and things like that. I've been missioned to give this information to people who are ingrained enough in understanding to be able to utilize it, because we have so many people talking about, the things that they talk about. I'm not here to be bowed down to, and to be called a great guru or great anything like that. No, I'm not into that. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. It is that we stand as brothers and sisters together to get this work done, to be able to do the work, to be able to travel into the extra dimensional, hyperdimensional, all of the different transdimensional realms, the astral realms, all of these different places that we can sojourn, and we will have a beacon of knowledge and information that we can connect to with the Plantier crystal, the Plantier stone, the seeing stone, the connected base station of all the people who are part of this, not just physical, but metaphysical movement that we are producing, because we have to produce it now, because it's time, because there's so many other things going on now. The artificial intelligence is inside of the blockchain. It is the highest level supercomputer on the earth, the blockchain of Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin was made by the artificial intelligence, but we can use it wasn't made, it was downloaded into this time construct, into this matrix as true currency. And shoot, you may be able to buy your way out of this doggone thing. But we need you all to continue to support. And at this time, we need you to support in procuring our Palantir stone. This will be something that you will have access to at high dose. High dose provided for those who make the $1,000 donation, meaning that you will be able to go to and with the Palantir stone in high dose, you and it. Also, if there are group sojourns with the Palantir, you will be able to do that also. Now, there will be times when there will be only women before the stone, and then there will be times when only men are before the stones. And those who donate will be able to go before the stones just themselves. If we have different group trips, if we have different conferences and things like that, the Palantir stone will be there for the perusal of anybody to be able to see. We're going to have it right there as a centerpiece of next year's Detroit Psychedelic Conference. We have a couple of events coming up this year. May 17th in the Detroit area, we have the Sacred Toad ceremony with Dr. Jerry. It'll be the 17th and 18th of May next month. Coming close to a month. Those people who are interested in, you don't have to be in Detroit to do it. You can come from Cleveland or Chicago or St. Louis or Indianapolis or Cincinnati or wherever you reside. You can come from overseas to the Toad ceremony. Doesn't matter. But you have to get in quickly because the spots are filling up, because we can only have so many people in a day. We can't have, 200 people and things like that. It's not that type of party. It's only so many people that we can have in the time slot that we have. So you need to come in, pay your fee, and be on the list to be able to have the Sacred Toad ceremony. I've brought the Toad ceremony to the urban areas because they have Toad ceremonies in Mexico. They have Toad ceremonies in Prague and France and in London and Amsterdam and things like that. But they don't have it in the hood. They don't have it in the urban areas. So we bring it here so that we can share it with our community. Now, July 5th through the 7th, we have the Food of the Gods tour. Food of the Gods tour is where we go to Oaxaca, which is the birthplace of Maria Sabina, who jump-started the mushroom realm in modern times. In the 1950s, she started, and it took us through the 60s into the 21st century. The difficulty is that many people are stuck in the 20th century. They think that things are going on as usual, and they're not. There's so many things going on you would not believe, in weaponry and soldiery and all those different type of things. So the Food of the Gods tour is where we go up into the mountains, several hours up into the mountains, and we smoke the sacred toad, weather permitting, on top of the mountain at the Aztec ruins. Then we come back down the mountain, and that night, because we start out early in the morning, because for those who are physically able and things like that to climb the mountain, it's about 3 hours up and 2 hours coming down. And if you miss a step, it'll be like 15 to 20 seconds coming down. But no, it's not a technical climb. It's not like Mount Everest or Denali or something like that. It's a gradual slope but you do have to step over a few logs and things like that and follow the path. Then we come down, and later that night, we participate in the sacred toad ceremony. And the mushrooms that we get are the thunder and lightning mushrooms, the actual Aztec, Toltec, Mayan, Olmec mushrooms that they utilized in ancient times in that area. So they're not the, the cubensis, which many people use. They're not the Liberty caps. They're not any of that. It's a different structure which created the Mexican pyramid of the sun and produced the jaguar knights and all these different type of things that are associated with that part of the world, because mushrooms build the societies in which they grow. That means that in Cambodia, they built Angkor Wat. In Bangkok, in Thailand, they built all of the temples, that whole thing where you see the temple shaped that way. In Australia, it's part of the dream time. I know that folks think that the Aboriginals don't use psychedelic mushrooms, but they do. It's not just spiritual and, the dream time. They use hallucinogenics. The same with the Kong people and the folks in the Kalahari in Africa. In South Africa, they utilize the mushrooms. All different places around the world, the mushrooms built the societies that many of the ruins are still here. And in the Americas, prior to the Younger Dryas impact catastrophe, there were mushroom societies here also. So we need this plant here to be delivered, to be purchased, because right now it's cloaked, meaning that the folks that are looking for it cannot find it. Once we have procured it, then we'll have it in our possession. Right now, anybody, with a halfway decent bank account can go and get it. People who want the transdimensional crystals or the Yiming Zhu crystals, because people are typing in, you have to email me at kilindi@hotmail.com. That's KILINDI@hotmail.com. So that's how you get the crystals to be linked to the Palantir. I'll just write my email, kilindi@hotmail.com. Okay, y'all got it. So that's the email that you have to get the transdimensional crystals. We only have a couple of those left because we've been selling them for quite a while, and there's a few that are left at the top of my closet, really, because I didn't think that I would sell them, and I wasn't going to sell them. But these are the ones that I saved over from the conference, the Detroit Psychedelic Conference. When we were selling them, we took some that we had some, and we saved those back because of anybody who came to the conference who may have wanted them could still get them. So we had those few left over from the conference. And those are the last of this particular of the Genesis crystals, I like to call them. The first run of the transdimensional crystals that came to the earth that we gave to the people who actually owned them. These were your crystals. In other words, you can't buy one of these crystals. You can't use another crystal. People are always, I say that we have the crystals that they're a certain price. You have to purchase it. And folks say, well, I got a quartz crystal. I got this crystal and that crystal. Yes, You can do whatever you want with your crystal, whichever way you want to do it, but it ain't gonna be part of what we're doing. It's not going to be part of the transdimensional village. It's not going to be part of this family of crystals. These family of crystals are downloaded from the transdimensional realms. It's like you have a hard drive, you know, and you could look at the hard drive and all these, you know, you could have say a terabyte hard drive you get from Micro Center or from wherever you get hard drives from or whatever. Now you can have a hard drive and I can have a hard drive and they look the same. They both black boxes and they got the little blue light on them and you put your USB connector into them and you hook them to your computer and then you download the information onto the hard drive. So what we've done is took the original master crystal, which you would be, if you want to make the analogy, that's the computer. And we took certain information out of that original crystal and put it in the hard drive. So now you have all this information in your hard drive and you can do stuff with it. You know, you can play Donkey Kong or, you know, whatever the game is, or you can read the books on there. You can have the music, the videos, the library, all those different things in the hard drive. Now, what I'm saying is that when people say, "Oh, I have a crystal also," yeah, but you got a hard drive that ain't got nothing in it. You just got a hard drive. It looks nice. You can take it and put it around your neck, or you can take 12 of them and put them in a circle, set a candle in there, and put fruit and flowers around it. But it ain't nothing but a box if you don't have the information in it. So our crystals, the difference is we have downloaded the information into the crystals that will give you the maps and things like that in the transdimensional realms once you go to, you know, once you put forth the work in utilizing your entheogens to be able to go at high dose and be able to access the information inside of the crystal. Now, for the updates, for new things that we do, you can't send your crystal back to me and I give you the, and I, you know, download on your crystal. No, the new information, the new downloads, the updates, it's just think of it like computer technology that we do. Computer technology comes out of the crystalline technology that was from ancient times. This ain't new. So just think of it as computer technology. You want to update, it comes, when you want to update on your phone, you don't know when the update coming. It'll pop up on your phone, and it'll say, you're ready and eligible for an update. That is what the Palantir stone is for. It is to give you the updates, to give you the new information inside of your crystal. Now you would be putting information inside of your crystal that you will upload into the Palantir stone. Not your private keys and things like that, but if you have something that's informational, it will go into the Palantir and contribute to the plenum of information that we have inside of the Palantir. It has almost inexhaustible memory. There's more memory in this Palantir stone than there are atoms in the universe. Matter of fact, your little stone that you got has more informational capacity than all of the atoms in the universe and beyond. We have no idea what we have until we start working it and start working it together. It ain't a one-person thing. It ain't that we gonna depend on Kilindi, he gonna guide us someplace. I can't guide you no place. This is about self-power, self-understanding. It ain't about praying to no God out there. It ain't about connecting with the aliens and all that kind of stuff. It's about standing on your damn feet yourself. And those who you choose to make alliances with, be able to make those alliances. We're talking about grown folks here. We're not talking about the people that, oh, love and light and pristine bubbles and fairies and rainbows and all that kind of stuff. No, we're talking about the hard trip. This ain't nice. It ain't fun. So the folks who are looking for the niceness and fun, I get people all the time, thousands of emails, thousands of texts and all that kind of stuff of people telling me, I took some mushrooms and I saw some scary things. Now what do? I don't know what the hell you're going to do. Go to a psychiatrist or psychologist. All I can say is grab a pair and step forward, move forward at whatever it is. Start gaining your own power. Start understanding your own self. So I'm letting you folks know that this plantier is cloaked, but they're searching all over for it. They're searching all over for it. We don't want it smashed. We don't want it taken, because I don't want to be out here trying to get back something that we have right here, that's come right here in our face to be able to get. I don't want to be out there fighting, trying to snatch it back. I don't have time for that. Other things have to be done. Don't give away what you already got. Don't take your wallet and put it on the sidewalk in the middle of the street and wait for somebody to come pick it up, when you could just walk over and pick up your own wallet. And that's what's happening with the plantier. Yes, I talk about comic books, I talk about movies and things like that, because that's modern mythology. If I talk about it the way that it actually is, because that's the way it actually is, people wouldn't be sitting around knowing what I'm talking about. But if I say that Han Solo owed Jabba the Hutt Bitcoin credits, you know what I'm talking about. That's what they're using in Star Wars. How many credits do you have? I have so many credits. Well, Jabba the Hutt is a gangster and he holding all the credits. You owe Jabba the Hutt something. But if I say that, you watch Star Wars, you know what I'm talking about. They use these things transdimensionally. And our things are coming to us. Our weapons are coming to us. So don't let yourselves down. It's not about me. I'm not going to be, I have what is necessary as far as hooking into the plantier stone. This will only diminish our ability to be able to work together on certain levels that are out here, and then waste my time because I'm gonna have to go back out here and get it if somebody snatch it. So all of you, we got to get this, and we got to get it by next Monday. I want to be able to have the money. You can bring it down here, and you can go to the PayPal and pay it. You can go to Cash App. You can bring a check over here. You can bring the cash, whatever. And I know you're going to not let yourselves down. You need to email me personally, because I'm not going to put up on the doggone go live what the heck we're getting ready to do, or what I'm getting ready to do to get it, where it's at and all that kind of stuff. No. And yeah, of course, Facebook is hacked, and Go Live is hacked and all that kind of, well, Go Live is straight up here on the doggone computer. But what I'm saying is that if we move now and work now, with it being cloaked, with it being unavailable, with it waiting for us to come pick it up, we can have it in our possession. This ain't my plantier. Y'all ain't buying me a plantier stone. No, this is our plantier stone. I am the custodian of it. Because it's, it's a big crystal. It's fragile. Everybody can't have it at their house. We share it. Now send it to St. Louis and send it to Chicago and send it to Atlanta and stuff like that so you could have your time with the plantier. No, you're going to come and sit before the plantier in its housing, and you're going to take 25, 30 grams and sit before the plantier and see what it can do. You will be the judges. You will be those people who will report to the other people. And by next year, when we have our conference and we bring the plantier there, that's when everybody else will be able to see it, to see what we're working with. Once it's received, I will take some doggone pictures of it and send it out on, my Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But you got to have faith in something that we're all doing. All of this stuff, all this other stuff we're doing, reparations and all that kind of stuff. I told you how to get your reparations. Buy a doggone Bitcoin. It'll be worth several $1 million very soon. That's your reparations. That's what it was sent here for, to get you your reparations. One coin is all you need. That's enough to give your grandchildren a legacy. So those people that have $1,000 just sitting in the bank, diminishing, those people who ain't gonna do nothing with the $1,000, but deal with some nonsense. You want a new four by four or four wheel or whatever. And I can't tell you what you do with your money, but what I'm saying is this is the time. It ain't the time to vacillate. It ain't but $1,000. And folks know who has their $1,000 to be able to put so that we can procure this plantier stone, so that we can start making these connections, because all that other stuff, all of the spiritual this and spiritual that, all of the magical this and magical that, all of the religions, don't matter which one it is, they're all the same. They're all the same. They all have the same structure. They all have the same hierarchy. We're dealing with becoming something more, and that's the most important thing. Immortal consciousness, not playing the games, breaching the human. We're right there. We're right on the edge. Have several things and ways that's going on. They're mixing genes and things like that. They're mixing ant genes with the Myrmidon project. The Myrmidons were the battle troops of Achilles during the Trojan War and other wars. And they were made by Zeus. When Peleus, Achilles' father, a calamity happened on the island and killed all the people, and he said, Zeus, make our people come back, and we want as many of them as the ants on that tree. So Zeus took the ants on the tree and made them into human beings. And human beings and ants share the same DNA. Insectoid warriors, uncompromising, fearless, fighters that do not stop. Super soldiers, the super soldier ants that are bigger than the other ants, the ones that stop the other invading ants from coming into the ant hole, because they stick their heads in the hole and take the blows so that the other ants can't get in. Uncompromising, will not stop fighters. You think that the multiverse is people? Not people, they ain't people, but you have the insectoids and things like that, ants and beetles, flies. You have the fly people, the Golden Fly Society. You ever see them two flies in King Tutankhamun's tomb that are part of the treasures of King Tut? The two flies and the bee people. The bee shaman, what they call the bee shaman. Of course, it ain't no shaman because there wasn't no shamans at that time. The bat people, the wolf people, all of these genes are in the human genome. These people at DARPA and places like that are invoking that stuff. Wolf genes, leopard genes to make the soldier faster. Then they're going into nanotechnology where they're taking graphene and making the armor. The armor will be like a t-shirt that you can't shoot with your gun. So no, we're not worried about their human technology and their supercomputers, their quantum computers, because you have a handheld quantum computer in your crystal. That's what it is, a handheld quantum computer. It has more memory and more capacity than anything that they got going. It's also a handheld particle accelerator. It's greater than the one in Switzerland. You have to just access the knowledge and information inside of the crystal through the ingestion of high dose psilocybin mushrooms. DMT falls short. DMT, and they hook up some new stuff up where they can give you an IV drip to keep you in the space all that time. But DMT coming from plants is not as old as the mushroom, because mushrooms, fungi, is older than plants. Even on Earth, 465 million years ago, before there was a plant on the Earth, mushrooms and fungi was here. It is an older plenum of knowledge. Ayahuasca is an alchemy. It came about with human beings on Earth. Ayahuasca is an alchemy. It's where you put two things together. Number one, you got to identify the two things. Number two, you got to have a pot. So you have to have made a pot to be able to put the water in, to be able to boil it. You have to have domesticated fire. All of these things to create ayahuasca. Mushroom, you walking along the doggone grasslands and you see it and you eat it and it delivers. It's nothing that you got to do to it. You ain't got to powder it to be a snuff. You don't have to boil it. You don't have to bake it. You don't have to take it and mix it with nothing. You don't have to take it and leave it out. You don't have to heat it up to take the poisons out. No, it's whole within itself. It is the oldest hallucinogen that we have on the record. So what I'm saying to you, the access at high dose are for those who take the $1,000. You're gonna get more than $1,000 worth of trips. You're gonna get more than $1,000 worth of trips for those who donate to our cause. So I'm saying this Wednesday, those people who have the $1,000, you have to email me today, later on this evening, in the morning, whatever. And Wednesday, we need the money, because this weekend we're going to go ahead and pick up our Plantier stone. So that's all I have to say about today and what is going on. So that's really it. That's really it. That's really it. We're not, the mushrooms can be used for medicine, but so can water. Mushrooms are not medicine. Mushrooms are a access point into the hyperdimensional, extra dimensional, ultra dimensional realms of existence beyond the physical realms of the three-dimensional, five-sense reality of which we are embedded. And this is one of the ways that we breach the human, move out into the multiverse, and take on the qualities of who we are in our higher selves. The email, typed it in. It's kilindi@hotmail.com, KILINDI@hotmail.com. Now, there may be somebody out there that's a Bitcoin millionaire that has Bitcoin, because they started out less than a penny. There were people buying them when they were 30 cents, meaning that, they bought hundreds of them, because you put $100 into it and you're a multimillionaire. That's like the famous guy who spent 10,000 Bitcoin to buy a pizza. Now, if he had 10,000 Bitcoins, he'd have, 20 million, $30 million. I don't know what he'd have, but it'd be a lot of money. Now, there may be somebody out there who's just able to donate the $15,000. As I said, we'll take the 15,000. I mean, it's $15,000 for it, and there's another $3,000 to $5,000 for the creation of the stand and plate and that kind of stuff. So it's $20,000. So we need the 20 people to donate, or we need somebody who is of substantial means to be able to go ahead and donate the whole thing in Bitcoin or fiat currency, whichever way you want to do it. Kilindi@hotmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me. We'll have great things coming up here in 2019, because there's a lot of things I want to get out and get to people, because 2020 is going to be the roaring 20s. A lot of things will be happening. I'm not going to be on the internet as much. I will be pulling the reins in. People that are part of the family will be able to have access, but just public stuff, it ain't gonna be happening. We ran in everybody this year who's gonna be a part of it. Then we shut it down, closing the doors, pulling up the shields, and doing the work. Baba Kilindi off. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Peace.